Tanse. Again, I am Patrick, Black Horse who stands like a man. Black Horse for short. Today I want to talk to you a bit about self-care. You know, in a previous video I talked about popcorn elders, and again I apologize if I offended anyone. But you know, when we're seeking that help and that guidance, we got to take care of ourselves, and part of that is staying in balance, right? A lot of people that I've talked to in the community, and when I'm facilitating sweat lodges and that, I ask them, you know, why do you come to the sweat lodge? And to release negativity. So what do you think happens with that negativity? Well, the Creator takes it. It just goes. And you know, it does get released into the lodge and that. But the Creator doesn't, he takes a bit of it, right? What happens is the lodge keeper takes the majority of it. And that's why as a lodge keeper, we need to go see other lodge. Instead of running a lodge, we need to also go and participate and take care of the lodge, or take care of ourselves as well. And that's why some of us don't. We forget that we need to take care of ourselves in order to take care of other people. And we get sick. So, you know, sometimes it'll go through 10 people and sometimes it'll go through 50 people before it's actually all gone. Because each time it gets released, Creator takes a little more, and then the holder or the facilitator of that ceremony takes the majority, right? But each time it gets smaller and smaller until it's gone. One of the things I'd like to acknowledge from my West Coast brothers and sisters is after certain ceremonies, and a lot of the ceremonies, what they do is they have cold water baths. So they'll go into the cold water bath, and the water takes it away. So, you know, so it's not going to other people, right? The Creator takes it in away through the river. And I've started to practice that a bit, you know, weather permitting. I'm not as brave as a lot of our West Coast brothers and sisters who jump in there in February, right? So, and I acknowledge their strengths for doing that, right? And maybe one day I will. But in finding true balance in our lives, a lot of the people call it the medicine wheel, and I call it the sacred circle, right? It is a sacred circle, and it is also medicine. Both terms are correct. Within the medicine wheel, we have 4 aspects, you know, 4 directions, 4 aspects of self. Everything is in balance, right? We have the East, which represents new beginnings and infancy. Represents the physicality of life. We have the South that represents the balance of play and work, right? Youthfulness and emotions, and so many other things. I'm only going to name a few things from each direction because I could go on, and that's not what this is about. The West, we have parenthood, we have protection, so, and adulthood, parenthood, right? Protecting those younger and older. And in the North, we have the elders, or the old ones, and we have wisdom, and we also have, you know, action. You know, this is when we think, but we also find the balance. Wisdom is having the knowledge and knowing how to act with it, right? And that's what we get out of the North as well. So, again, in the East, foresight, and West, hindsight, South, introvert, North, extrovert, right? Everything, the opposites always balance each other, and that's what we need to do. Me, as being born in July, I'm born in the southern direction, so I tend to be more emotional. And I was very emotional as a child growing up. But due to the life I lived, I shut down my emotions, and I concentrated on that northern direction of wisdom and thought. So I intellectualized everything. And now again, I got to work on my southern direction to find balance. So when we are trying to walk in balance, and you notice certain things that you are doing, like I said, emotions of the south, concentrate on your northern direction for the mental aspect. Start to build that. And we have to honor all the 4 aspects. So in the morning, tell yourself, what you're going to do for each aspect throughout the day. And in the evening, when you lay your head down to rest, acknowledge whether you actually did that or not. See, too often in life, we'll get into a situation, you'll say, I'll never let that happen again. Never. Okay, but unfortunately, when we find that those situations are happening again, we sit there and we don't do anything because we haven't told ourselves what we will do. We just know what we're not going to do. And we'll sit there and be silent for a while, and it'll build up in us, and then we spew, and we make up for all the time we were silent. Instead of telling yourself what you're not going to do, tell yourself what you are going to do. My friends are drinking, and I don't feel like drinking. I am going to what? What are you going to do, right? Next time my spouse raises his voice at me, I'm not going to get involved in the argument. Well, that's fine too. What are you going to do? I am going to go for a walk. I am going to see a friend. I am going to go watch TV in the bedroom. Whatever, right? You got to tell yourselves what you're going to do. And that's part of finding the balance in your life too, taking care of you. The ultimate goal, and so many people in the cultural field, we are a communal people. We're a community of helping one another and everything else. And I see so many people that spend so much time helping other people that they forget to take care of themselves. And they start to break down. Their bodies, their minds, their spirits. And I've seen people walk away from the culture because of it, because they felt burnt out, because they weren't taking care of themselves. So one of the things I plead with you at this time is take care of you so that you can take care of others. We can't have a healthy nation if we are full of sick people, right? We need to help those, but we also need to help ourselves in order to help those people. We need to walk our talk, right? And remember, actions speak louder than words. You may want to support somebody, right? Support them by showing them how to live a good life, by how to care for themselves. How are they to follow through on your teachings in support of helping themselves if you're not doing it for yourself, right? Don't be a person that says, do as I say, not as I do. I grew up with that type of parenting. It didn't work. Don't do it to the people you're trying to help. Role model what you want, right? Role model this, what you're trying to help the other people find. That's all you can do. That's all that's ever asked of you. Remember, all my relations. And in that aspect of all my relations, you're included in that. Take care of you. Find the time to sit under a tree and connect with that tree. Listen to what that tree has to say. A lot of us are bound in the cities and stuff. You can still find a tree. You can still go to a city park and take your shoes off and walk through the grass. Connect with the grass, right? There's ways and means that you can do these things. So, and that's all I'm asking for you today. And to find that balance and work with that balance. And if you have any comments or questions for me, please contact me at fliptheb@gmail.com. It's flip, F-L-I-P, the, T-H-E-B, at gmail.com. And the reason for the name Flip the Bee is because it stands for flip the brain, right? We got to change the way we think about a lot of things. And that's what I help people do. So you can contact me there, or you can look up Patrick Van Loosen on Facebook, and I answer questions and various things, and you can ask me comments in that. So in the meantime and in between time, oh,